So it was responsibility for each and every athlete to take care of yourself. So for us, we're just like in the room. The only time you get out is when you're going to the dining and maybe to the training venue. And they specify training for each and every team. Like for us, like the first day, few days, we were like given 45 minutes. Then you have to be at the venue 1 hour before you are training. And then at the training venue, you don't mix with any team. So the precaution was so high, like they were doing everything. Like Japan is an organized country, and I think the people who are the stakeholders did a very good job, because I think after all athletes were in the village, I think no one tested positive, because everyone was taking precaution, because it's up to you. You will cost your team if you test positive, I mean. So it was really crazy, like it was crazy.
But let me ask Gaudencia, I mean, there are those who look at it and say this is frustrating. But when we look at it that that's the new norm that we are in at the moment, would you look at it as in a frustrating moment or a moment that would make you strong mentally, bearing in mind that we are in a new norm and that could be the new way of doing things?
I think for now, like every situation has the negative side and the positive side. Now the COVID-19 came, we don't have any option. You just need to observe the rules. Like, especially for beach volleyball, the sport, it looks nice when people are watching, like the fans are in the stands. But now, like, there's no one. Only maybe if you're playing, maybe the coach from both teams are on the stands, or maybe the doctor or the nurses. But there's no anyone in the stands. Normally, to some players, I think it affects them mentally. But then now, it's the time you have to be strong mentally, because you're used to playing with fans, and now there's no fans. There's no one shouting maybe your name up there. So I think for now, athletes should just be strong mentally, because there's no one who can change this COVID thing. It's there, and I think we are living with it, and all you have to do is just take the precaution, and maybe all we just need to do is to look the negative way and the positive way, how it will be affecting you as an individual, as a team, and as a country at large when you are outside there competing. Yeah.
Very tough indeed. Coach, this seems to be the new way of doing things until the pandemic is declared free and everything gets back to normalcy. As we look at this, we have to now start looking at the future, start preparing the young ones. You mentioned working with Kenya Secondary School Sports Association in terms of having it as part of the co-curricular activities. But as we look at this, one major hindrance factor could be the facility, because the type of sand that is used, if not at the natural beach, must have some specifications. How do you intend to come up with a plan that will ensure that all factors are considered, and we have a strong team that can have consistency going into the future?
Actually, we know it is not as easy as we may think, but going forward, we've decided that we have to set the ball rolling, and much as we may not be able to get the standard courts that we would require, there must be a starting point. So even the sand that we get from the river, we can just get that and sieve to get the finer part of it and use that as a makeshift. We use that as a makeshift court for the time being, just to popularize the sport and get the people to learn the basics and get impart the skills into the junior teams that we want to build. So I know it is not easy, but that's why we are trying to partner with as many corporates and as many institutions that will be assisting in this. Alongside the Kenya Volleyball Federation, with the Beach Volleyball Commission spearheading the moves. So it is a plan that we want to roll out soon. And now that even the league for the normal indoor volleyball has changed to be aligned with the FIVB calendar, we are going to draw our circuits such that as soon as the the normal league is over somewhere in June, July. The rest of the year, we squeeze in the circuits for the beach volleyball so that we accommodate everybody, even those who are playing in the normal volleyball. During that period of recession, they can take part. Somebody can still be interested and change from the indoor volleyball to switch to beach volleyball so that we accommodate as many as possible. We want to popularize the sport so that it's well known.
Gaudencia, we are looking at you out there with Braxi. These are very tough indeed, very tough weather conditions. What do you make of the facilities that you saw out there, and what do we need to do going forward in terms of facilities? He's just mentioned that it's not going to be easy, but if we have the right focus, we will just get to our destination eventually.
I think when it comes in terms of facilities, as we saw in Japan, like they have the sea, the Yellow Sea, but then the sand we were playing at, they didn't, like they imported from outside. So it's not a matter of us going down to Mombasa. Still, someone can come on board and just take the sand from Mombasa and put maybe in Karura or somewhere in Nyeri or in Limuru. And then the ball goes on, you know? It's not a matter of just playing along the ocean. I've gone to, like when I went to the 2 World Championship, one in junior and the other in senior, we didn't play along the ocean or along the sea. They just import the sand and they put like in Nairobi, and everything is okay. So like, it's a hard time, like the Kenya Volleyball Federation, and I think also we are looking up for sponsors from different corporate, as coach has said, just to take some sand from Mombasa when we get it here, because it's challenging. Most of the players are based in Nairobi. So taking people from Nairobi down to Mombasa, it's a bit challenging, because like I myself, I'm employed with Kenya Pipeline and I play for Kenya Pipeline for indoor volleyball. Then it's hard time to find every time going down to Mombasa to train. But if we have a space here, it will be easier. Like most of the players will be interested to join the sport. Yeah.
Coach, we are in a tough situation where we know that we've started walking. The big thing, or the biggest thing that many will talk about, is how do you get off the blocks? We are now off the blocks in terms of Olympic appearance. Based on what you've seen and based on the technical expertise that we have with you and of course Coach Mulinge, do you think we have what it takes in terms of being regulars into the Olympics going into the future?
I would say yes, because one thing that is for sure, we really have a pool of talent in Kenya. So the strategy that we are trying to lay on getting the young boys and girls to join this sport, that will ensure our continuity, because there's a lot of talent in Kenya. It's only that it is untapped because of the logistics that currently we are experiencing. Now that the only venue we have that is natural is in Mombasa. We had one which was man-made. Okay, it's still there, but not up to the standard that you would use for training when you are going for a very tough assignment at Strathmore University. So we want to roll out so that in as many places as possible, we can have at least, even if it is substandard, but there is that one for imparting the basic skills on the young ones, so that we get the construction of these beach volleyball sand courts in schools, in counties, in colleges, as many places as possible, going by the counties. And I'm glad that already we've gotten 2 counties willing to construct beach volleyball courts, which will be happening maybe very soon. One of them being Homa Bay, another one being Muranga, and we expect to roll these to all the rest of the counties so that we can have beach volleyball played in everywhere within the country. All we'll be doing will be capacity building of going to organizing clinics so that we can also get more coaches and more referees who can be conducting these in the base areas, so that everybody is catered for.
Well, I mean, you already have the key stakeholder, and you've mentioned that we have the players, we have the talent. Yes. Gau, cracking a joke earlier on that the last time we were together, you're teaching me how to receive. I mean, having looked at how the matches were played, most of the time it's all about reception. Yes. And even how you set the ball. Yes. Everything is, you know, just through reception, and you keep going. Of all the 3 matches that you played, which was the toughest, and why would you say that was the toughest or the most challenging against US, against Brazil, or against Latvia?
The most tough match was against the US. Playing against, especially Kelsey. Kelsey, she's the youngest on the team. She's so super cool, and she might be young, but she's mature, and she has all the skills that a beach volleyball player needs. And she has played more world tours, and she thinks like a genius. So this was the toughest match. Like, we thought we could, we had a target of when we were scoring, we had a target, but then playing against the Americans, it was really tough.
It was tough.
Yeah.
And what do you think is the secret of winning a game in beach volleyball? Because most of the time it's not just about spiking. There are times where you just, it's just a mental game. You just easily play it and drop it, you know, into no man's land, one can argue. What do you think is the secret?
The secret of making a score in beach volleyball or containing the match is you do less mistake. Because every time you make a mistake and the opponent takes advantage of it, and you know, like, you have to be careful when you're serving, especially when you're serving, because this is the first weapon. If you serve out or you serve the net, you add the opponent's score. And maybe, you know, like playing those world-ranked teams, when you make a mistake and they score like 3 or 4 points, and the cup is enlarged. And in beach volleyball, you know, it's a sport like it's played in few minutes. If you just make few minutes, you can lose a match 21-0 if you're not careful. So you have to concentrate, and you have to be careful about giving opponent, like, you have to make sure you're doing less mistake, because at all in volleyball, opponent gets a point through opponent's error. So you have to minimize your errors.
And your blocks.
Yeah.
Wow. Coach,
just to add,
please.
Yes, just to add on that, the reason why we are also thinking of investing much in the youth and the juniors, it's because it's so easy for them to adapt with the skills that you're imparting in them. And once they master them when they are young, it becomes a very normal situation, such that they'll be the experts when they mature. Because the only difference between the juniors and the seniors at times is normally the rate of thinking very fast. They could be very good with skills, and then they might not win a tough match because of mental stability.
Mental.
Yes.
Wow.
But if we start with them early and they play continuously, we expose them so much, they'll be very tough. And I'm confident that we have the talents in Kenya, and naturally, our Kenyan physique, even for the ladies, they are normally tough. And that's why our ladies volleyball is enjoying superiority in Africa, even though nowadays there's competition. There are some people coming bring challenges. But with that strategy, we'll go far.
Coach, as we wind up this discussion,
yes,
that's your camera. If you were to talk to Kenyan players listening to you right now, interested in beach volleyball, what would that advice be as you wind up?
Well, I would advise those who are interested in beach volleyball to come forward and just declare the interest. And we are trying as much as possible to make sure that this game will reach every end of Kenya. It might not be immediately, but we are hoping that within the next 2 years, we will have reached almost all the counties. So I'm appealing to all the schools, colleges, those who are interested in sports. Beach volleyball is the way to go, because it is a sport that will be, can take even the players to higher levels. In beach volleyball, there's what we call world tour. Once you reach a certain level, any one of them can even live on that beach volleyball by participating in the world tours, going around the world and earning if you are at that level. So it is a very good sport, much as it has not been known, but I might say that this qualification to the Olympics has given us a yardstick, such that even those who are not aware of this beach volleyball, now they are, and we'll bring it closer to the people.
We will bring it closer to the people. Gaudencia, you have the final word. I know you must have been watching Malkia strikers as well, progressing. I mean, what do you make of their performance?
I think they tried their best, given that if they were given chance to go to play international friendlies, I think it could be better. See the Tunisian men team, they went to Europe, they played more friendly matches, and they might not won any game, but their performance was increasing each and every day. I think it's high time, like when we have big competition, it's high time we take our teams to international friendlies. Yeah.
Message to Kenyans as you wind up?
My message today to Kenyans is have faith in athletes when they go outside there to play. Like, it's so frustrating when someone is playing and someone is commenting on the social media. Like you have negative comments, not knowing that someone, an athlete out there is a daughter, is a son, is a husband, and is a wife to someone, and is a mother to someone. Always have positive comments, because it's not hard, it's very hard to play outside there, especially during this COVID moment. Like, you know, when after the match and you go to the social media and you see the negative comments, it really puts your morale down, because the next day you have a competition. Then you are like, even if I lose or win, they'll still have to talk negative things. So have faith in athletes and always have positive comments on the social media, because when we are out there, we are representing the whole country. Like carrying the 42 million people on our shoulders, especially like for us in beach volleyball, just two of us. Tonight, Kipchoge will be doing that. So have positive vibes towards the athletes. Always believe in them. Yeah.
Always believe in them, and what a way she's put it. I could see the emotions, you know, on Gaudencia's face as she was putting out that we need to appreciate some of this, not some, but all the athletes. So when they qualify, we are the first ones to shout and congratulate them. But when they don't perform as per expectations, then we are the first ones to, you know, to throw all sorts of words on them. Let's encourage them. They are our brothers and sisters, and when they're out there, they're actually representing us, having given all their best in terms of qualification. They didn't just qualify to go out there and do nothing. They've given their best, and we congratulate them. And by the end of the day, we are proud to be associated with them as our representatives at the international scene. Gaudencia, Makokha, thank you very much. Of course, we are proud of you.
Thank you.
Yes. Karibu sana. And of course, Coach Patrick Owino, thank you very much as well for all the work you've done in terms of supporting the team to qualify to the Olympics.
Thank you too for giving us this opportunity to be here.
Karibu sana. For Gaudencia and Braxidis, tomorrow is just but another day, and anything can happen. There are those who are looking forward and looking at Gaudencia and say, when I grow up, I would like to be like Gaudencia. So please, it is possible, it can be done. They've set the pace. We need to keep the fire burning. And talking about that, Kenya's only hope of another gold medal now lies on the marathon team. The marathon will be coming at exactly 12 midnight Kenyan time today. It's another moment, another sleepless night coming up, but we will be out there to cheer the team. Spiritually, we will be with them. We will have faith that they can deliver. Remember, the earlier expectations in terms of gold medal, Helen Obiri and Timothy Cheruiyot did not come out as expected, but we thank them for giving a very spirited fight. Eliud Kipchoge is the